welcome to Times Now's Election Yatra. I'm Pratibha Chandran. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're joining you live from the iconic Marina Beach in Chennai. Chennai, the capital, is in the middle of a bitter three-way battle. On one hand, you have the Dravidian giants, the DMK and the AIADMK, who have been fighting each other for decades together. While the DMK has the support of the national ally, the Congress, the AIADMK has support of the BJP. But this time, in the equation, is also actor-turned-politician Vijay. And all the three sides have been chasing one voter bloc in Chennai, which is the urban voter bloc. But what do the people of Chennai believe? What are the key problems that they're looking at? Which are the parties that they're looking to support? Join us on this episode of Election Yatra as we find out. The battlefield in Tamil Nadu is getting increasingly crowded. National parties like the BJP and Congress are pushing for coalition governments. The Dravidian parties, DMK and the AIADMK, are not in favor of the idea as they look to maintain their dominance in the political fray in Tamil Nadu. But a lot of attention has been drawn by actor-turned-politician Vijay, who claims the people of Tamil Nadu are fed up with Dravidian politics. But will Vijay be able to counter the Dravidian dominance? When it comes to Chennai, the 2021 elections, the DMK-led alliance managed to win all 16 seats in Chennai district, with 15 going to the DMK itself and 1 seat going to the Congress party. The AIADMK-led alliance drew a blank. Today, we are on ground zero trying to find out who really is ahead in Chennai. After all, many believe that Vijay's impact may be restricted to urban areas like Chennai, while the AIADMK is also eyeing a comeback. But can they end the DMK's prominence in Chennai? Elections are the time for the voters to speak their mind and to also hold the netas accountable. In just a few weeks from now, we're going to see the elections in Tamil Nadu, and in Chennai in particular, the political heat is only turning up. What do the voters want? We have a good representation from different fields from across Chennai who are joining us on the broadcast today to speak about what the voters in Chennai actually want. What are the key issues? What are their demands from the political parties? Let's talk to them and find out what is it that they are looking forward to. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. This is Times Now's Election Yatra, where we put the voice of the voters in the foreground. So, talk about what are the key issues that you're going to be thinking of when you cast your vote.
Thank you so much. This is Dr. Srimati Kesin, founder CEO of Space Kids India. I belong to the space industry. I think whichever party is in power, the center and state, the combination should go as, together, not on parallel lines, because ultimately the affecting is the normal public. So if they have this thought, I think they will synchronize and work. With regards to Tamil Nadu, if you take, one thing I really want to mention is we don't want poster boys. Because Tamil Nadu is such a place with high IQ. We are really proud to say hardworking people, very grounded. And what we want to do is we want to contribute to the nation. When that is happening, you are pushed literally like south, you are in the south. That's all. This need not be there. So our leadership should be versatile. And at least let's do the beginning. We needed educated, young, proactive, power and leadership who can go voice it out at the center. Language shouldn't be a barrier at this juncture in the world that we are living. We need to voice out what is the problem here in the center, get it from there. How can anybody stop that? Right? When we are able to go to the UN, when we are able to go to the moon, this is trivial. So it is the right kind of power, the right kind of people who are seated should be able to speak and should be able to get that done. If we are not able to do that, we are not passing on anything to the future generation, because that is the power of a country. If we are not able to contain the future generation here, what are we doing? Brain drain. We don't want that to happen. So we are trying to focus on putting them here. But if we are still, even in this century, going to be talking about, oh, potholes, oh, schools being closed. No, we need to be talking something more and beyond, for which collectively we need our power to meet the people every now and then. If it is partnership based, people and power, then there is victory. And Tamil Nadu is a state where we can be a model state. So, again, I would reiterate and say, no poster boys.
Okay.
We want a true leader, a real leader, versatile leader who can stand up for us.
And fighting for the issues that people care about. You know, you spoke about how language is a very parochial issue. It may be bringing sentiment or a lot of emotion to it, but does it actually matter to the people or not? But on the issue of free bus rides to the women as well, you know, you're saying that for Tamil Nadu as well, it is about pride. But we are seeing multiple parties. It's not just one party that's offering the same. Now we are seeing multiple parties that are offering such freebies, whether it is free ride to women, 2,500 rupees being promised by even the new entrants. Gas cylinders.
Ring, bangle. We don't want all this. Give us work.
Okay.
Give us work. Give us equal representation.
That will help us in our future, for the future generation. So it's the development which actually really matters for anybody, for that matter. Every mother or every parent will want their child to be coming up in a society which is, you know, fulfilling what they want, what is really necessary for them to go ahead and become much better people, much better citizens, and also have their share of developments.
Okay.
So that's what will actually, you know, please the people, and not just these momentary monetary benefits.
And when you spoke about the women being in politics, this is one state where we had a very powerful chief minister as well. We had Jayalalitha, who was a chief minister here. But you know, just going a little bit about the film background, I want to ask, now we have another new entrant coming in as well. You know, how do you think the Vijay factor is going to be? And do you think the BJP and the Congress party have been moved to a distant second in a state like this?
Yeah, it's a very good move by Vijay, but it is a very difficult for him, because we have got a big philosophy, like ideology. The Dravidian ideology is like, it's been there for almost 50, 60 years. So as ma'am said, the youth is not interested in politics. So they have to come out with a different ideology. They have to see about the development policy. Like we should, of course, the main basic structure is very important. But we don't have the basic thing. The basic thing has to be removed. Only then we can think ahead.
Yeah.
Only then we can think about the knowledge thing. We don't have the basic thing, amenities. So as you said, rightly said, basic thing is not there. They want to get in that mind. You don't have basic facilities.
Okay.
Only then you will focus on this mind.
Okay.
Therefore, the basic is not there. Then we will grow up to the next level of mind.
Okay.
Talk about the education, talk about the philosophy, about the ideology. What next level you can go up. Okay. So this has to be, Vijay factor is a big thing, but it will take some time.
Okay.
I will stand to differ here. We need new faces, but we don't want only film industries.
Okay.
What are they going to be talking about? They are again talking about freebies. They are again talking about, they didn't do this, we will try to do this. What are you bringing in new is what we want to see. And are you capable of handling all this is very important. Without a written manuscript, are you able to meet your people face to face, and are you able to talk to them wholeheartedly is important. We don't want dialogues. Directors direct you. We need something wholehearted. We want you to face the reality. Okay, people are coming, crowd is coming. Yes, it is just to see an artist. We don't want, if it is progress for a country, we need progressive, educated, versatile power that can go represent the state at the national level and international level. That is important. Otherwise, our voices are not going to be heard. We are also going to be dramatic and poster boys.
Okay, I want to ask on the issue of federalism as well, because you have mentioned so much about the state being at odds with the center as well. One point that is made by the government here in Tamil Nadu as well is federalism. They've spoken about how the center is curtailing the kind of work that they want to do in the state. They have spoken about more freedom in the state as well. Do you think that these are legitimate issues, or do you think, again, you know, it's the people who finally suffer in this tiff between the state and the center?
This is a beautiful question. question, but as a woman, I would love to take it to the home ground. You know what? When a new girl is married and comes to an in-law's house, the entire in-law force tries to curtail her not doing, and this is still the educated force also do that. But what a woman does is she is able to bring the entire family to her support with time and with what she carries and possesses, her knowledge. So similarly, I would say, instead of playing this blame game, if we are able to showcase complete development, who can stop us?
All right, no blame game. But on the financial health of the state as well, I want to ask, because the state has often said that we don't get our dues from the center. So I want to ask you, what do you think of the financial situation of Tamil Nadu? Because many a times Tamil Nadu has also said that we don't need outsiders to speak about the GDP or the economic growth, because economic growth in Tamil Nadu is much better than the other states. That's what is cited by the state government. What do you think?
See, economic growth in Tamil Nadu is definitely higher than the other state, but that is not the position. We can't. I mean, people are not there to accept the status quo. They'll bange more. I mean, they want something more, and for doing more, for doing as I told you, for us to move from the current GDP to 10x times of GDP, we need far more things than to be content with whatever is happening. The law and order has to be really good. I should have access to transportation. I should have access to civic facilities. I should also have access to talent, and more importantly, I should have the freedom to continue my business in an unhindered manner, unhindered by governmental.
Okay.
The question is, are these happening? The answer is no.
As we crisscross the city of Chennai, what we see is the city bustling with activity. On the one hand, the city is known for its culture. On the other hand, it has a young and aspirational population with big dreams. Chennai is known as the Detroit because of the kind of industrial growth, because of the kind of automobile industry in the region. In fact, for the longest time, Chennai has powered the GDP of Tamil Nadu, which is second only to Maharashtra in the country. So Chennai has been the powerhouse of Tamil Nadu. But now with metro cities coming in, Bengaluru, Hyderabad, how is it that Chennai fares? Do people actually believe that it has lived up to the potential? Or do the people of Chennai believe that there is a lot more that needs to be done? We spoke to them, and here is what they said. But do people trust the DMK to take Chennai to the next level? Or are they looking for a change? Here in Chennai, will the young working class stick to the template of Dravidian politics? Or is that now a dated concept? Let's find out.
Personally, if you ask me, I would say that let's go off from the nepotistic, family-oriented families and look at new blood who will be able to really think for the progress of the state, progress of the country. Because it's not a short-term thing that we have to look at. It's the long term. As she rightly said, education is very important for that, because it's the young generation which is going to take this forward. And so the long term perspective of the development is what has to be focused upon.
Yeah, they said very well. Like ma'am said, like freebies it has to be avoided, because freebies is a thing where you don't have to work at all. Say without work you are like getting freebies. Like during election time they pay cash. They give all this food items, and they pay, like they're giving a free bus service. So it has to be knocked out. And also said education is a very good valid point, because the government schools completely it is knocked off. Like we are paying huge fees for small schools, huge fees for colleges, and there are many medical colleges opening. They are paying crores of money. So only rich people can study. That's a big question mark for the middle class, because they're earning hard money. Where will they go? They will take loan.
Okay, do you think it's also at odds with what Tamil Nadu claims to be? Because Tamil Nadu is one of the most developed states. We talk about the economy here, but you're saying that it's not reflected when you're also giving freebies to get votes from the people.
Of course, yes. But Tamil Nadu is said to be a vibrant state. We have good automobile industry. We have got good IT industry. Infrastructure is really good, but still more focus has to be done, because there are only city thing they are covering, not suburbs. We take, because I'm from suburb. I'm from Avadi, so there is less infrastructure is happening. There is no bad roads, there is no drainage, there is no proper water supply. They claim to be like we are corporation, but only city-centric only they are focusing, not in suburbs.
I want to take this point about suburbans. Suburbans have been in a very dry state for a long time, and now a little bit of development is seen. But however, taking into consideration all the civic state, that's a very important area where the complete assembly, legislative assembly works on. So basically, when somebody is representing that, as an urban voter, I would look at it as a possibility to explore your improvement areas. You will always go to other countries and and see how they are building their economy and all. And when you are coming here and you are building it here, right? But that should be a reverse action. In future, somebody should come here and look at our economy here, our infrastructure here, our civic structure here, and they should take this as a very important point in developing their nations.
And in a state like Tamil Nadu, where there is so much potential as well, isn't it? So do you think that Tamil Nadu has reached its maximum potential, or there's a lot more that can be done?
Yes. To answer your question, let me go from micro to macro. Okay. So first, with respect to my constituency, Anna Nagar, and I don't think my MLA across in the last 10 years or so, they have been in the news championing the cause of that particular constituency. So the new MLA who's going to be there, perhaps there's an existing one also, I would like to be really happy him raising the area issues concerning the area in the assembly where it mattered. So that is the other thing is this gentleman was saying that suburbs civic issues are horrible. I don't think situation is any different from my particular state, and they say the proof of the pudding is in the eating, and November, December is when the civic issues are actually tested.
Okay.
Across the promises, they are all going down the drain. And
Is infrastructure bad? Like, do you see bad roads, or you think that there should be, what are the key problems? Because Chennai is also in the news a lot. Whenever it rains, we see flooding across city. Despite being the capital city, despite the kind of funds that Chennai gets, we see that there are a lot of infrastructural issues here.
absolutely, there are the disconnect between what is promised and what's there in the ground level is actually growing by the year, and I don't know. I would love to see that Chennai where there's a 25 centimeters rain and still we are able to carry on with the work. That's my wishful thinking. I hope to see that into reality. So this is with respect to the civic issues and the constitution.
It is one of the most vibrant states. It is one of the most developed states. We have with us also to get a video journalist point of view as well. What are the key issues that you're going to think of when you come?
So I used to go by like a bike and public transport for my walks actually. But for like more than 10 years, the infrastructure will be good actually.
Okay.
But like the government has to be focused on more on the public transport as well as the road.
Okay.
So you can see that Chennai have two phases. One is normal years like sunny on, but it has another phase like a rainy side actually. If I have experience like I'm just stuck into a broken road actually. I just like it's old like almost like 5 meters actually. So I just stuck for 30 minutes to get out my vehicle. Then after I have to just wait for the rain to stop. I have to go and it's like I can't able to see the road when it's rain. So government has to more focus on the public transport as well as the road. Also, I used to go for buses and everything, the frequent bus and everything. So lot are coming like the metro, everything is going, but like some are like road blockages. If I go from here to Tidal it took time like 2 hours, 2 hours or 1.5 hours to take time. Because like lot of road blockages, they take diversion on the roads. It's a lot of happening. So the government has more focus on the public transports as well as the road, as well as the infrastructure.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanking all of you all, and that is true. There are so many issues that we have touched upon. For the netas who are watching, you have your report card here. We have our demands as well from the voters here. We have spoken to you about what is it that the people of Tamil Nadu want. This in 5 years, the voting exercise is when the voters can also tell their netas that this is what we voted you for. So if there is development, then you have the same government or the same MLA returning. Otherwise, there will be a change. And as we make our way through Chennai, it's getting quite clear the 2026 polls could redefine how politics works in the state. And this will possibly be the biggest test of whether Dravidian politics withstands the test of time. And well, that's all we could pack for you in this edition of Times Now's Election Yatra. We hope you enjoyed the show. Tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. we have a special performance lined up for you and also a very special story of two Chennais and the Vijay factor. We'll see you tomorrow at 5:30.